Thank you, honourable members. Debate on the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024 continues today, and I will ask members to be mindful of the time when contributing to the debate so that to give others time to contribute to the debate as we have limited time allotted. Also adhere to the rules of debate as set out in the standing orders. The floor is now open for debate. Thank you. Let me give the opportunity to the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee and MP for Central Honerasa. You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. I don't intend to open the debate yet, but perhaps just to raise a point of order, that because the report has just been distributed, and we need to give natural justice to members to read the report before we can start the debate. I'm really mindful of Standing Order 69 1G, which requires that the report has to be produced before the debate can commence. Report AM just come out normally. We have a real problem with printing, which would have been printed 2 days ago. So I did promise that the report will be tabled by today. We tried all our best, to get the report to members over the weekend, but we could not do that because of the breakdown of almost every printing facility in Parliament, basically. Where's the one Nalo committee secretariat? And all of that is being affected by even the reservation that has been imposed, that we basically ended up with zero provision to be able to outsource the printing. And it's only this morning that we got the approval, I think, from the Prime Minister. Thank you, PM, for giving us that space to be able to have this printing. But as you can see, report coming, no even bind it to you, and me clip no more. Anyone by the come tearing no more than put him Salem lime normal market as well. So, in the interest of fairness to all our members, I suggest that if the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance agree, we may adjourn him, give time for the members to read through the report. It's a very good report. We have tried for helping me to understand and know the difficulties I have. But at the same time, give him credit too to government for the putting out the budget. So I think it is not too much of an asking to me to basically adjourn a little bit more and give him one night for everyone for reading report here. And then we come back to tomorrow. I think we should have a very, very good debate tomorrow. Even Kasim midnight tomorrow, but him say doing too. We can suspend him standing order and continue for tomorrow. That's the point of order that I'm raising, consistent on them 69 1G, and also in relation to standing order 18.2, 18.4, where I'm really requiring that this report has to be distributed first to members, so that members can have a chance to read through it. Budget is not of course it's an annual process, but you should give him, ourselves, some fair go to be helped by reports like this. So, thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Chairman of Public Accounts Committee. Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, on the suggestion raised by the Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. Mr. Speaker, first of all, let me thank the Chairman and members of the Public Accounts Committee for their report, which is now before us. Mr. Speaker, on our side, we have been very accommodating in terms of the time that the chairman and his committee has requested over the last couple of weeks, and we do appreciate their hard work and the report which is now before us. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, yes, there is no precedence. The report has already been tabled. It's a very comprehensive report that we understand, but there is no precedence that in the past I remember that once the report is tabled, the debate can proceed on the same day, on the same time. Given the time frame, the tight time frame that we have on this side, we would like the debate to commence today, to continue today. I understand from the other side, the chairman and members of the PAC in particular, I'm sure they're well versed with the report since they've gone through the 2025 estimates over the last 2 weeks. There are also, I understand, a couple of ministers on this side of the House that are ready to contribute, ready to debate the budget today. So, Mr. Speaker, from this side, from the government side, we would like the debate to commence this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Yes, when the order paper today was issued, you would have noted that the report of the Public Accounts Committee was in the order paper, and was that unfortunately the report was not at that point in time printed so that it's distributed for the members to have access to. And of course, Standing Order 69(1)G, as has been alluded to, and which I also repeated this morning, why it is important for the observation of that is because so that members can have access to it. But as the Prime Minister said already, particularly on the government side, the presentation by ministers, whether the report is ready or not, they will be making presentations, because the speech which the Minister of Finance delivered in introducing the appropriation bill would have captured what, in terms of policy, what the appropriation is catering for 2025. So on that note, yes, the ministers probably were more prepared to start on the debate, and also perhaps I must give credence to what the leader of, the chairman of the PAC has mentioned, but also I am cognizant of the issue and the fact that the speech which the minister delivered when he introduced this appropriation is already available. So in terms of matters of policy, those are captured in that presentation. What was not there was actually the examination of the heads, which will become very appropriate when we come to the Committee of Supply, when we delve into that committee later on after the second reading has gone through the House. So on that note, I will, and because of the time constraints and limitations that is now before us, before we want to conclude and pass the appropriation bill 2025, I will, with due respect to the intervention and by the chairman of PAC, I will now open the debate as from this afternoon. Therefore, any minister or any member who wishes to take the floor, please, you have the floor now. Thank you. Thank you. Let me give the floor to the Honourable Minister of Planning and Aid Coordination. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to contribute to the motion moved by the Honourable Minister of Finance and Treasury, especially this important bill, the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024. Mr. Speaker, in this connection, I wish to put to record my sincere congratulations to the government for national unity and transformation for bringing this bill, meeting Section 102 of our Constitution, that before end of 31st, that the government must bring him budget to Parliament for passing. Mr. Speaker, I am aware that some of us in this House would rather see the resolution pass and me also important. But Mr. Speaker, as Hemi stipulated in our Constitution 102, that budget is really important, especially for passing, so that from next year, especially 2025, you may have a continuity of the services that the government is delivered to our people. Mr. Speaker, this budget is prepared in a challenging environment. The government is fully aware of the challenging economic geography we have, where the cost of development and service delivery are high. The cost of power is the highest in our region. Mr. Speaker, the cost of connectivity, especially across our provinces or our island, also not easy, especially to continue to save our people, Mr. Speaker. Our population growth, Mr. Speaker, also high. We also know, Mr. Speaker, Solomon Island is not isolated from the global shocks, especially number of wars and conflicts that happen around the globe, including the 2019 COVID, Mr. Speaker. This event, Mr. Speaker, including our own making in 2021, the riot, that kind of environment create a very challenging, especially for government, for national unity, for bringing this budget, Mr. Speaker. And on that note, I thank the Minister of Finance and the government and the line ministry for making sure that although not easy, we continue to make sure that our people, we continue to deliver services as expected and continue to do it, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me also say that if we might say that situations in the past have been already over, that's not true, Mr. Speaker. A fine example, Mr. given, Mr. Speaker, one of the projects that was costed before the COVID, and it costed around 91 million US, especially the Tina Hydro project, Mr. Speaker. And after COVID, we seek additional financing, and now it's around 168 million, Mr. Speaker. And so, it shows, Mr. Speaker, that although that this event passed, but the impact continue affecting the country, and it's something that the government is also looking very seriously, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, one of the litmus tests of the government resolve to translate and implement its policy lies in this very bill that is before us. To this end, I am attest that the 2025 budget estimate implement the government national unity and transformation policies, and that is to fast-track the investment in key economic infrastructure to diversify the economy and achieve transformational growth, and also to strengthen the delivery of service to our people. This is the government's center on national unity and transformation. We all know that the national unity is essential for transformation, and likewise, the transformation of Solomon Island is crucial for national unity. The solidarity within this side of the House is based on the principle that We as leaders must be united to unite the foundation of this country, and that is our people. Mr. Speaker, transformation also means doing better on where we could have done better. The recent World Bank released its economic memorandum for Solomon Islands in July this year, and that report, in no uncertain terms, stated that to unlock new sectoral sources of economic growth, we need to mechanize agriculture, invest in harvest fishery, improve tourism governance and infrastructure, and manage negative impact of the labor mobility. The report, Mr. Speaker, also stated that emphasis on new sources of growth must be complemented with the investment to address economic geography constraint and to stimulate the private sector. To this end, and as you will note from the 2025 estimate, that the government, through the development estimate, have focused on private sector, or in other areas, the government more focused on the productive and resource sector. These two sectors have both seen increase of 34% and 49% over the past, respectively. And so, Mr. Speaker, this is how you see the government is taking this bill seriously as the huge increase in this sector, Mr. Speaker. The 50 million allocation to Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock is unprecedented in the past 6 years. Also, Mr. Speaker, 46 million is also allocated through Ministry of Culture and Tourism, as this is, Mr. Speaker, my first time for the past 11 years. Mr. Speaker, this significant allocation demonstrate of clarity of focus by the government to unlock new sources of economic growth to bring about the economic transformation in the country. We are not only talk about our policy, Mr. Speaker, but we also commit resources to our policy. Mr. Speaker, the government is also committed to combating corruption. The launch of the new anti-corruption strategy in the early days of the formation of this government is the testament of our commitment to root out corruption within the government system. Our support to anti-corruption institutions through this budget remain important. In this recognition, Mr. Speaker, the capacity to development needs of the Office of the Auditor General. And so you will know that the government is also committing funds to the Office of the Auditor General. Under my ministry, Mr. Speaker, we also contribute to this effort by implementing National Monitoring and Evaluation System Strengthening Strategy within this public sector. This effort will also monitoring and evaluation system that are essential for tracking progress, assess the effectiveness of programs, and inform evidence-based decision-making. Mr. Speaker, strengthening M&E system in Solomon Islands will involve improving capacity, process and tools used to monitor and evaluate program and policy, taking into consideration the enabling organizational environment as well as the human capacity. Mr. Speaker, as Minister responsible for national planning and development coordination, allow me to reiterate that we stand with respect to the National Development Strategy and to Partnership for Development. We are off track on most of the front with respect to the 5 NDS objectives, as I said in my contribution last speech of the throne, probably a month ago, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, development partners remain very critical to our development. 65% of 13 billion mobilized for the development program from 2016 to 2021 comes directly from our development partner and managed outside of Solomon Island government system and processes by development partner. In other words, Mr. Speaker, is non-appropriated. Mr. Speaker, budget support is on the decline in contrast to the growth of non-appropriated development programming. I can call on our development partner to work closely with Somaliland government through my ministry and relevant line ministry to ensure that we are working together and not in cross purpose with each other. Furthermore, we need more than just alignment to the national development strategy. We need development partners to implement national needs and our policy priorities. Mr. Speaker, the combined 2024 development budget fiscal expenditure as of 28 November last month stood at 75% of revised development budget of around 649.6 million as expenditure, Mr. Speaker. However, it is also worth noting that the fiscal expenditure across ministry also varied considerably as well. Ideally, we would like to see development budget fiscal expenditure to be nearly at 100%, Mr. Speaker. By the close of the financial year, Mr. Speaker, possible for some ministry for variety of reasons, including the cash flow situation sometimes we are facing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the other thing that we note that also causes delay in implementing of development budget, Mr. Speaker, the work plan which require amendment and refinement to be done, especially sometimes Lord Ministry, Mr. Speaker. My ministry will work with the line ministry, especially Ministry of Finance, Mr. Speaker, to properly plan out the medium-term and development plan 2024 and 2028, and I'm sure that the report is already tabled in Parliament. Development budget will only compose of projects and not program, and this is, Mr. Speaker, the way forward. Ministries will be required to develop projects with clear defined objectives, activity, and duration. My ministry also proactively dialoguing with line ministry, including the Office of the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to the 2025 budget, Mr. Speaker. As the theme for the 2025 budget, accelerating accountable and transformative investment, we are accountable to our people, especially this country need as both of the House, Mr. Speaker. Despite challenges or how you may like for doing things to sometimes politics involved in terms of how you may like for passing bill. Mr. Speaker, as I said earlier, this bill has been stipulated under our Constitution 102 that really important, especially for next year, so that services to our people be delivered. A clear example for this country, Mr. Speaker, situation facing our close neighbor, Vanuatu, Mr. Speaker. Me just come back from Vanuatu, Nomamil, go across law last 2 weeks, Mr. Speaker, and this is a kind of situation that this country, especially government, don't want, nor like him for me, go into it, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, me join him, the Governor of Central Bank, including the Prime Minister, during the Solomon Island Chamber of Commerce and Industry Award event last month. The Governor of Central Bank highlighted several key areas critical for supporting the private sector. These include infrastructure development, digital transformation and connectivity, simplifying business regulation, promoting investment and trade, supporting education and workforce development, fostering sustainable practices. All these areas are also critical for public sector, Mr. Speaker. In my view of the board development and recurrent budget estimate, I am confidently say that the government focus in the 2025 budget is aligned also with the monetary policy area focus, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, infrastructure development is a national need and priority for any government. And it has been a long-standing priority for successive government, including DNAT government, Mr. Speaker. As you know, from 2025, 113 million has been proposed for appropriation to support critical infrastructure development. This represents an increase of 11% from last year's budget, Mr. Speaker. This is complemented by the non-appropriated infrastructure development projects that are implemented directly by our development partner. The government is committed to ensuring telecommunication service reach all corners of this country. As such, it has prioritized the rollout of telecommunication tower projects and continue to support the newly established state-owned enterprise, Mr. Speaker, Solomon Tower Limited, as you note from the budget, Mr. Speaker. We all know that e-commerce communication and access to other digital platforms depend on this tower, Mr. Speaker. Me aware recently people blow me lo dahau, lo moi, and lo central, Mr. Speaker, are happy because of disconnected recently. And so connectivity, especially across the country, is a priority. And Mr. Speaker, it's something that the government is prioritizing, as you note, from the 2025 budget or bill. Mr. Speaker, education sector continues to be supported through the proposed development and recurrent of this bill. The government has taken support to education sector to another level, implementation of the new pay structure for teachers under the new Education Act. The government is not hesitant to implement this new pay structure for our teachers, Mr. Speaker. You will note, Mr. Speaker, since 2016, Mr. Speaker, you will note that our budget, 30% of total expenditure is committed to our education system. Mr. Speaker, you know that from this 2025 budget, you will note with the support from our development partner, including Australia, ADB, New Zealand, UNICEF, and other donors that the Ministry of Education is working directly with them. Mr. Speaker, this is a huge increase to the education sector, Mr. Speaker. On health as well, Mr. Speaker, you will note that the government commitment to ensure that health services are available to our people. As you know, Mr. Speaker, the experience of our health services, sometimes you may face a shortage of drug or medicine, and we run out lot of provinces, including our National Referral Hospital. Mr. Speaker, you will note from this budget that we are increasing by 49 million has been allocated for drug and dressing. We estimate for this stand at 95 million, Mr. Speaker. I think by me allow of the two ministers responsible, especially education and health, once had the debate on this bill about the touch more of that one. But Mr. Speaker, call Lomilo, people blow you me, especially those that implement government finance, especially for sourcing of the health equipment or drug or dressing. I think I'm good for doing good now. Like Minister of Finance, I may conclude by him lot time him make him second reading lo this bill, Mr. Speaker. I think good for you may do him right thing now. And so me call law, especially law, teachers, education providers, while the government is committing resources for funding these services. I'm good for you, me. Do him good now, do him right now, and so that people below you me benefit, and also law, health sector, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the infrastructure, as you know, Mr. Speaker, I alluded to earlier that apart from the support government given through the ministry under infrastructure, through my ministry, we are working also with our partners, Law Solar Program, Unicolem Law, Solomon Island Infrastructure Pipeline here. And so you will note, Mr. Speaker, that some of the projects that is not funded under this budget, and we also funded under this program. And not only that one, number of programs that the government is supporting through different programs, including LMCP, which is funded by ADB, CIRAP, which is funded by World Bank, and also the SIP, the investment program that funded by Australia. This is Australian Partnership Program here. I have me follow witness him, I think last week, Prime Minister and Leader Law Opposition and Leader Law Independent, and some follow more, also Friend Blomi Law West Kwarai, and Friend Blomi Law Central. Stakana me follow witness him, and it's something that we encourage, especially that the kind of engagement with our partner that apart from the government system of funding, our donors also play a critical part, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the public service, Mr. Speaker, new structure that the government also implementing through this budget for next year is the COLA, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you will note from this bill that government now have contracting level 12 and above toward the PSS, Mr. Speaker. This is a kind of a new structure that the government wants to implement, and you will note from this budget, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in terms of decentralizing of development to our provinces is also a key, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you will note from this budget as the approach that we are taking, especially is a place-based approach. We want that at least provinces, more than 2 or 3 projects we must do in each province, Mr. Speaker. And the government is encouraging that. And so you will note from this budget, Mr. Speaker, that almost every provinces we try to make sure that they are benefiting from this budget. And so you will note that projects like upgrading of airports, health, education, may happen, Lord provinces below you, Mr. Speaker. And so it's important, Mr. Speaker, especially for our people, especially people below me, Malaita, Mr. Speaker, that you will know that number of projects now focus for improving infrastructure, Malaita. Mr. Speaker, you will know that recently the Minister of Infrastructure Development is signing implementation of Aukita Siling. That one, law Aukilang constituency, that Auki there. Mr. Speaker, the other project that have now happen, law Malaita is the rehabilitation of Kiluvia Hospital. The other project, Mr. Speaker, the upgrading of South Road, East Road hemi lelbeti because hemi lelbet far for good shot or doing two falapat lahem and one falapat hem barva gutna nar partner. Me thank him government for the emergency maintenance that was happened now, Mr. Speaker, and me. You will note from social media or even lot print media, Mr. Speaker, that people Blomifalo East raising complaint against him. Me also one member Law East, Minister Law MID also member Law East, Leader Law Independent also member Law East, East Kwayo, and so, Mr. Speaker, I think me thank him government that part that have no good year emergency maintenance have me happen. But I think the important thing, upgrading and tasseling law roads, normality and bar are very important. And it's something we thank the DNAT government for prioritizing that, Mr. Speaker, including the Bina Haba tuna processing project, Mr. Speaker. Roll Blomilo, Bina Haba now for try for finding financing for that project, including Ministry of Finance, the Minister, because assurance that from the ministry responsible and the project office, that project am now ready. And so I think the key role before the government now for securing funding of around, or the IFC cost him around 202 million US. And so I'm no small project, Mr. Speaker. And so I think encouraging development for go out from Honiara, especially to our provinces, is something that the government is prioritizing, Mr. Speaker. Not only that, Mr. Speaker, but we also working with our partner to work with the ministry responsible for provincial government, for capacity development, and also for improving governance law provincial level, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I know that while me a little bit talk too much about our development partner, there was also some talem that you may depend too much on aid or government. Sometimes our development partner they deal direct law how do things law or the provinces, Mr. Speaker, but this is not true. Government instruction and concurrence focus investment law provinces something that this in that government now became. You will note, Mr. Speaker, that what national projects here, government also losing lots of revenue to statutory tax exemptions that have given lot projects here, Mr. Speaker. And so government foregone millions of dollars through this project through foregone revenue, Mr. Speaker. We now focus law, Ministry of National Planning and Development Coordination, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the ministry provides strategic direction and advice to the government through plan and promote development of our country through collaborative partnership with our development partner. This translates through the ministry 5 strategic priorities, which include strengthening national development planning, budgeting process, coordinate donor and external assistance to address national development priorities, strengthening and monitoring and evaluation of national plan, coordinate and support implementation of our national development program and policies. As I alluded to earlier, Mr. Speaker, our role mainly to also work with our development partner, and that may remain priority, Mr. Speaker, as under the DNET 100 days policy, we managed to fulfill number of our priorities, including our reporting law, VNR, our donor roundtable and dialogue. And so, Mr. Speaker, on top of that, working with our partner and also ministry in terms of budget preparation. I acknowledge the continuous support from our partner, but more especially respond to my call for local content and also place-based approach here. You may like for local content here now, me something that me bar like for the donors below you may come in strong, engage with our people in terms of private sector businesses for strengthening matter for doing business, Mr. Speaker. And it's something that I'm happy that some of the donors, through that call, they are responding, especially awarding contracts to our local contractors. And not only that, but I think supporting our private sector is important, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as you know from the budget Ministry of National Planning and Development Coordination, total of 13,493,000, of which 11,493,000 have me to fund recurrent operation and 2 million for development projects. And the rollout, Mr. Speakers, that development management database now mainly for this 2 million, Mr. Speaker. At the ministry, we have taken decision to remove all recurrent-like activities from our development budget baseline and to appropriate cost of activity under the recurrent budget, Mr. Speaker. I think the approach that the government, through my ministry, is taking, especially for but shifting recurring nature allocation from development budget and go across low recurrent. Sometimes you may not see our development budget have increased for good, but because some of the activity under our development budget activity should be normally recurrent in nature, Lord Ministries, Mr. Speaker. At the ministry, we have taken decision, Mr. Speaker, that working closely with ministry, as I alluded to earlier, for moving heads from our development go back law recurrent. Mr. Speaker, the activities that by this budget from the ministry have been supporting for next year, one, to prepare the medium-term development plan 26 to 2030, coordinate the preparation and monitor implementation of development budget across government system, develop Solomon Island integrated development management database system, complete the Solomon Island LDC graduation smooth transition strategy, to organize also the joint dialogue between our development partner and also, Mr. Speaker, to implement the Solomon Island monitoring and evaluation strategy that was launched a few months ago, Mr. Speaker. The other work, Mr. Speaker, the review of national population policy and also the review of national human resource development training plan. And so these are the priority, including the top priority that me alluded earlier, especially the national planning bill, Mr. Speaker. On this note, the ministry has been allocated adequate resources as per the estimate to implement our 2025 annual work plan. As an important stream of work is the national planning bill. Mr. Speaker, challenges that you may face including our budget process and budget cycle, the national planning bill that the ministry is focusing as priority for next year, by him help, Mr. Speaker, to help us to formulate and implement long-term and medium-term development plan in line with our national development strategy and the medium-term development plan. That will also help us in terms of improve the MTDB and the annual budget prioritization of resources allocation, especially from our ministries. Mr. Speaker, the bill by HEMI also project and program identified for development budget must be social and economically viable in line with our NDS. Mr. Speaker, as me already tell him that the growth of budget support is something that we continue to obstruct. And so from the National Planning Bill, by HEMI also help this one, Mr. Speaker, for make sure that the gap between our appropriated fund and non-appropriate by HEM survey address. But Mr. Speaker, as HEMI allude by me also listen come during number of hearing block PAC. One of the concerns that me also noting from the PAC hearing, Mr. Speaker, and also as him also from the report, Mr. Speaker, that I think one of the concern from PAC for government to address the how you mean a huge amount of funding that may non-appropriated. And it's something that the government through my ministry is also looking at that one and also discussing with our partner. But have no issue or somehow imiting, Mr. Speaker. I mean, in practical, not easy with some of the funding. Example, Mr. Speaker, the Global Environment Facility, which is designed only for must channel through multilateral banks and so and not the UN agencies. So some of the support, especially a big one, not easy also imitating. The other, Mr. Speaker, that different calendar year that you mean garam waiting or the donors blue you mean. As you know, Mr. Speaker, that the Somaliland financial year from January to December, which is in comparison with our development partners, Mr. Speaker, or the garam different financial year. So not easy also sometimes you meeting him, Mr. Speaker. Finally, no more, Mr. Speaker, this bill may also stand here for supporting because people's bill. People blomil of this bill important for you because number of projects that are important for deliver government service like health, education, rural development, church grant, fishery important to our people. And so this bill also capturing that one. And so, Mr. Speaker, with this view remark, I support the motion and I resume my seat.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any other members who wish to contribute to the motion? Let me give the floor firstly to the Honourable MP for Isquayo. You have the floor first before I refer to Agriculture. Isquayo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the floor. Before me doing that, I seek your permission under relevant standing order of Parliament, me sit down and make my contribution on the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024.
Thank you. Permission granted.
Mr. Speaker, thank you indeed for recognizing the Member of Parliament for Isquayo to take the floor and to make my contribution on this important budget. Mr. Speaker, sir, we like for thanking Minister of Finance for bringing the bill on behalf the DNAT government We believe, Mr. Speaker, as Minister of Planning has alluded to, the bill is very important because stuck a good something inside. One for now is education grant, one for now church fund, rural development, and other line ministries, Mr. Speaker said. Mr. Speaker said, me like to thank him, Chairman of Accounts Committee, and the members of the committee for their hard work in scrutinizing the bill before he come long Parliament for imi sabe debate lohen. Sir, at this juncture, I wish to thank the witnesses that come or they came before committee and give evidence before the Public Accounts Committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, I must not forget the hard-working officers of the Ministry of Finance and Treasury and Development Planning for their tireless job in putting together the recurrent and development budget for 2025, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, as Imi Sabe, good fellow, the economy of this country has not performing to the level that Imi expected as a result of very poor investment environment with cash flow and a number of external shocks. Mr. Speaker, sir, Solomon Islands economy has just recovered from incidents where we went through. You may experience him. The COVID-19 pandemic, riot and burning of Honiara city, and the ongoing war, also Minister of Finance refer to the Ukraine. As such, Mr. Speaker, you cannot expect him 100% delivery low government programs or service. However, Mr. Speaker, regardless of this for a very difficult situation that country below me have been faced up with, government of national unity and transformation have been determined for accelerate, accountable, and transformative investment for a resilient and sustainable economy. Sir, investment in key economic infrastructures have been critical to diversifying the economy, including strengthening of legal framework to create certainty and confidence for investors to enhance economic recovery and build resilience to achieve transformative growth in the short to medium term. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 2025 budget strives for achieving two very important objectives. One, for fast-tracking investment along key economic infrastructures, and two, strengthening the delivery of services along people Rohini. Mr. Speaker, sir, passing of this 2025 budget has been very important for ensure timely and effective implementation and delivery of government's policy, priorities, and programs, and at the same time, building the government's ability and capability to withstand, adopt, and cope against domestic and external shocks, leaving tangible legacy investment for young generation or Solomon Annas, lo future Rohini. Sir, it is important for noting that the implementation of the budget falls under the custody of permanent secretaries and ministry officers. Very important. During my past time, local government, and even now, I think you permanent secretaries and senior officers, you are very important because you will certainly implement this budget. Ensure that this budget is carried out accordingly. We believe the permanent secretaries and officers about carrying out of the good work here. The quicker the finalization of medium-term development plans, the faster the implementation of the 2025 budget and early the delivery of government's programs or priority. Me, therefore, Mr. Speaker, call on all responsible public officers to perform their duties faithfully. Our part is to pass the budget. You officers, your work is to conduct or to carry out the budget. Me, never discourage. Time budget in passing law December. The officers, they implement law second term of the year. Oh, I mean, no good something. Eh? We like looking. The budget is implemented accordingly. What now is expected? Under the budget deficit, Mr. Speaker, sir, IMI unappropriated funds from donors and NGOs. that can be used effectively to support the government priorities and programs. If that is done, as we think, government's budget could be saved, therefore reducing the budget deficit. Mr. Speaker, I must take this opportunity to thank the Minister of Works. Road for East Rodia, not on the East Koyo. Hemi fataleka tu kolo hem, people of fataleka, people of East Arare, people of Koyo too. This time, hemi no go too much, but me thank the government, especially the minister, or the carrying out work na start lo him. So me join him, Minister of Planning, to take the Minister of MID for the good work done on behalf of the government. Me like to thank the Minister of Health too, on behalf of the government. Yeah. Budget for the mission hospitals. Hemi liberty increase here. Thank the Minister of Health. You sabe, three fala ya. Mr. Speaker, sir. Atowi, run by SDA, lo East Koyo, where me totokuna. Hela Goldie in the Western Province. Good Samaritan, Longolakana. Thank you, Minister, that you liberate look Savalomi Vala and you increase in budget for medical. So me thank you now. Lo Hela Goldie, hem important name, Mr. Speaker. Hem garem noro, garem muda, where we got time to address the economic situation bro you made. Some return to Dipol, mining, very important. I think too important because having saving eastern part of Malaita, southern part, East Fataleka, East West, East Parae, and Are. So me like to thank you. Thank you, government, for standing with us. No time also. Speaker, sir. Me call on 8 donors and NDOs for collectively partner with the government through line ministries for implementing government priority policies and programs rather than doing things their own ways. No more, this is the government. You come in, the government is here. You need to consult the government. What areas that need him, you take part of him. Very important, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, we like for re-emphasizing that government for national unity and transformation or DINAT and like for move away from what image usually refer to as business as usual by coming up with a credible budget for supporting economic investment, legislative reforms, and effective delivery of social service to our people of this country, Mr. Speaker, sir. Therefore, I appeal to all 50 members of Parliament, both sides of the House, to support the 2025 budget. Our joint efforts in supporting this budget will certainly provide a good something inside budget here, Mr. Speaker. For time implementation and delivery of government programs were administered and implemented through Land Ministry, including health and education. Speaker, nokut mi satem samwal totokma, samwal by totokma bian, we fully support the 2020 budget, and I continue to resume my seat. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. We give the floor to Honourable Minister for Agriculture and Livestock and MP for East Makira first. Thank you.
I thank you for allowing the Member of Parliament for East Makira constituency and Minister for Agriculture and Livestock the opportunity to contribute to the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024. As the first appropriation bill under the Government for National Unity and Transformation, I must thank the Honourable Prime Minister for his steadfast leadership. Despite the political pressures that are not of his making, he has remained focused on the national interests of the country and prioritising the lives of our people first and foremost by ensuring this budget is debated in Parliament over other matters. Speaker, sir, on the same grounds, I must also acknowledge the member for East Choiseul, the hard-working Minister for Finance and Treasury, for tabling the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024, particularly the 20 million increase in the development budget allocation for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. Speaker, sir, it is not lost on me that there are officials who worked very hard in compiling the budget to reflect the policy priorities and forecasts of the government for national unity and transformation. Thus, I thank the officials from the Ministry of Finance and Treasury, the Ministry of National Planning and Development Coordination, the Office of the Prime Minister and Cabinet, the Ministry of Public Service and officials of my ministry. Speaker, sir, since the GNAT came into role early this year, it has formulated policies with the vision of achieving unity, transformative economic development and prosperity for Solomon Islands, primarily focusing on developing the agriculture sector to meet the growing demand for food and harnessing the potential for our workforce as the potential single largest employing sector. Speaker, sir, we were further reminded by His Excellency, the Governor-General, in his traditional speech from the throne, the greater need to revive and rebuild our agricultural sector as one of the main drivers of our sustainable economic growth. His speech from the throne was further supported by reports from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank through the Country Economic Memorandum, among other reports. The Government for National Unity and Transformation consists of the fiscal challenges that we continue to face as a country, compounded by a narrow economic base and the genuine cries of our rural people, whom are the bedrock of our informal economy, has taken into consideration these various reports and has responded with an increase in the development budget allocation for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. The theme of the budget for 2025 financial year is accelerating accountable and transformative investments, a pathway towards a resilient and sustainable economy. The budget team is a testament to the full awareness of the GNAT government that our great potential is in agriculture and believes that investing in agriculture sector is one of the most sustainable approaches towards achieving a resilient and sustainable economy. Despite the huge potential we have, agriculture in Solomon Islands continues to face a lot of challenges due to the wide geographic spread of our islands. This has provided an ongoing bottleneck on reliable, affordable, and efficient transport services. Due to our geographical distribution, we also lack access to telecommunications. Take, for instance, my constituency of East Makira. It has 8 provincial wards and located in the most rugged and isolated part of Makira, Ulao province. 80% of the constituency does not have telecommunication coverage. So accessing information and communicating with buyers, for instance, is so difficult. Shipping services to this part of Makira is very minimal, and my people have to incur high costs to travel to Kirkira or Honiara to sell the cocoa and copra, or board the ship to Honiara to conduct business transactions. The same situation is true for most rural areas in Solomon Islands, where infrastructure is lacking for production and post-harvest. Access to finance and markets are limited or very difficult. Lack of tools and equipment. Loading ports are lacking. Gap within technical cadre and weak leadership, and aging workforce, poor extension services, lack of resources, poor living and working conditions for the staff, adverse weather patterns, impact of climate change, and many others. Speaker, sir, GNAT recognizes that addressing these challenges will grow the agriculture sector of our nation. Hence, it has prioritized 8 policies for the ministry to implement during its term. These policies include reviewing the ministry and its functions, policy and legislative reforms, strategic revitalization of its extension services, increasing the export of commodities and value-added products, diversifying the agricultural base, and rebuilding the research capacity of the ministry, making agriculture attractive and protecting the fauna and flora while facilitating access to markets. Speaker, sir, these 8 policy priorities allocated to the ministry for implementation during the tenure of GNAT aims to strengthen food security, enhance agricultural productivity, and promote sustainable agricultural practices that improve rural livelihoods and contribute to the country's economic growth. This includes supporting local farmers, encouraging modern farming techniques, increasing investment in infrastructure, and fostering partnerships to drive agribusiness development and resilience against climate change. Speaker, sir, the overall focus of the 2025 financial year budget for agriculture is to grow the economy by targeting quick turnover activities while building a diversified production base, at the same time ensuring food security, safety, and nutrition for our people, which is fully reflected in the theme of the 2025 financial year budget. The targeted quick turnover return on investment are cocoa, coconut, kava, and cassava. We anticipate an increase in cocoa and copra export from next year onwards due to the high international market price for cocoa and the establishment of the cocoa and coconut revolving fund to support producers, buyers, and exporters. First 2 containers of fresh yellow cassava from Sape Farm is expected for export in the 2nd quarter of next year, to be followed by a monthly export in the 3rd quarters onwards, as market in Melbourne picks up and outgrower farmer support systems are in place. Kava export continues to be driven by the private sector, and MAL will continue to support farmers with training and planting materials, among others. Ministry is also embarking on diversifying its import substitution base by collaborating closely with Chinese agriculture institutes to re-establish rice farming in Solomon Islands with an improved approach on farming techniques. The Ministry is also working very closely with various Australian partners to revitalize our livestock industry, particularly poultry, piggery, and honey. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, Secretary of the Pacific Community, and Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research are also assisting us with strengthening our capacities on vegetables and root crop production. The Ministry also invested heavily in export facilities, with the vapor heat treatment facility now about to operationalize after having completed the construction of the shed at our Henderson site. Construction of a fumigation chamber is also expected to begin as award for the contractor has been finalized. These facilities will enable us to export fresh fruits, vegetables, and root crops to the international markets. Recognizing the poor coordination of both donor-funded and SIG projects is one of the major hindrances to the development, growth, and agriculture in our country. The Ministry has implemented a quick reform by recruiting a Deputy Secretary Special Duty, who is specially tasked to coordinate the different donor-funded projects that sits with the Ministry. We expect a noticeable impact in the next 3 years as we ensure that all projects, both SIG and donor-funded are successfully implemented and translated on the ground by the various project teams. Speaker, sir, for the financial year 2025, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock has been allocated a total of 50 million for its development programs in response to the policy priorities of the GNAT government. These development programs are: 1, the Agriculture Innovation Enhancement Program with an allocation of 3.7 million. Activities under this program includes developing the field experiment station at Tenaru on Goodall Canal and Garanga in Isabel Province, the redevelopment of the KG6 farm, relocation of high-yield cocoa variety seed gardens from the Black Post to Tenaru Field Experiment Station, capacitating the food lab for the trial, processing of chili, ginger, dried fruit snacks of mango, pineapple, and papaya, and control of coconut rhinoceros beetle and other pests. 2, cocoa and coconut development support program, with the allocation of 20 million. Activities categorized under this program in cocoa and coconut include integrated pest and disease management techniques on all cocoa trees in provinces targeting at minimum 100 hectares, provision of tools and equipment for integrated pest and disease management, nursery, budwood grafting, subsidy to cocoa, participatory action research farmers, purchase of storage, dryer and fermenter units, and establishment of cocoa and seed gardens. For coconut, it includes replanting of 200 hectares at minimum, establishment of demo training sites for seed nuts, selection and field nurseries, tools for field planting, processing units for copra, grant subsidies, and coconut seed gardens, also part of the program. Finally, the program also involves revolving fund of 3.4 million for buyers and traders in those sectors. 3, commercial agriculture development program with an allocation of 11,126,000. This is intended to support the development of mechanized commercial rice farming, taro and cassava export chain cover, and vegetable production, maize production for livestock feed, establishment of high-valued fruit trees, including durian, lychee, dragon fruit, pineapples, mangoes, papaya, melon, guava, avocado, etc. 4, food security and livestock industry program with an allocation of 6 million. The development activities will focus on developing the cattle, piggery, and honey industries. 5th, the infrastructure program with an allocation of 2.7 million, focusing on construction of offices, staff houses, pig breeding centers in our provincial extension centers. 6th biosecurity strengthening program with an allocation of 6.4 million, mostly for managing biosecurity risks at our borders, operationalization of our import and export facilities, awareness programs in partnership with stakeholders, training and upgrading of existing and new infrastructures for biosecurity. Speaker, sir, many of the proposed development activities for funding next year have already been started this year, and the funding is intended to enable the ministry complete some of them in the new financial year. Therefore, allow me to provide updates on some of the activities that we have started this year and will continue next year under the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024. The overall development policy of the GNAT was preceded by its 100-day priority program, which for MAL it had reviewed the agriculture sector growth strategy and investment plan as SHIP, and crafted a new agriculture sector development policy that encompasses all industries within the sector. The ministry has also established a sustainable financing scheme and fixed services grant to stimulate copra and cocoa production to increase export volumes. For this, GNAT has already remitted approximately 5 million for the cocoa and coconut revolving fund that will shortly begin with calls for application from our farmers, buyers, and traders. The ministry has also helped SAPIFA to operationalize the cover processing facility on North Goodall Canal Plains, and excited to announce that it has been successfully completed. First containers of yellow cassava for export from Sape farm and its outgrowers is expected at the end of the first quarter or beginning of the second quarter of next year. The ministry is also exploring the possibility to re-establish the once vibrant National Agriculture Training Institute at Forte Dala in Malaita province, with initial consultation between ministry officials and landowners completed. Installation of the biosecurity vapor heat treatment facility at the ministry's Henderson site is about to commence after having completed the construction of the holding shed. The ministry is now working on bringing over 2 engineers from Japan to install the plant within the next 2 months. The ministry has also conducted a review of its extension services critical towards agriculture production, and a detailed report will be submitted to Cabinet for noting. The review report identified many gaps and challenges that must be addressed for the extension services to function sufficiently for our people. A scoping study to establish the palm oil plantation on Vela La Vela in Western Province was conducted, and it was recommended that the interested investor from China, along with the ministry, should conduct a joint feasibility study on the potential of having an oil palm plantation bigger than Jipol established on the island. The ministry is pleased to inform the House that a team from the ministry, along with the resource owners from Vela La Vela, are expected to travel to China later this month to hold preliminary discussions with the interested investor. Speaker, sir, this sector is also a recipient of various funding assistance over the years from our development partners, and I wish to mention some of them, especially those that will complement the development budget activities for financial year 2025. Number 1, World Bank funded project, Solomon Islands Agriculture and Rural Transformation, SIAT for short, is a 4-year project worth 15 million USD and implemented in the 3 provinces of Goodall Canal, Malaita, and Makira Ulawa, focusing on building the capacity of agribusiness producer organizations to meet the market volume through collective groupings rather than an individual entrepreneur. The project commenced in 2022 and will conclude in 2026. It focuses on all agricultural crops and animal, minus cattle, kava, and betelnut. So far, the project has signed funding agreements with nearly 20 agribusiness producer organizations. 2, agriculture investment for market and nutrition. Amen. Project is funded under the IFAD, or the International Fund for Agriculture Development. Is a 6-year project worth 16.8 million USD. The project will be implemented in the 3 provinces of Choiseul, Isabel, and Western Province. 3, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations has several highly technical projects within the ministry, which include the sustainable transformation of domestic agri-food system, STODAS for short, worth 3 million USD, and this project focuses mainly on strengthening and enabling environment of the ministry and implementation of pilot activities through non-profit organizations and other line ministries in various areas in the agriculture sector, including agribusiness. Second one is One Country, One Priority Product, OCOP for short, which focuses on strengthening the cassava value chain in Solomon Islands. And the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock is working closely with cassava producers and exporters. The third one is Hand in Hand Initiative, or HI, with the investment on improving the poultry and coconut industries. And the fourth one is the Digital Village Initiative, DVI for short, with a pilot project rolled out in Namobaula village in Malaita province, consisting of IT equipment for use by farmers. This particular project is an important one for the ministry, as it tries to provide extension services to all rural farmers and fishers in the provinces throughout the digital village hubs. Its official handover will be made on the Wednesday, 18th of December, 2024. Fourth, there are other partnership programs with the ACR and the SPC on plant health clinics, the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries of Australia, DAF for short, on biosecurity capacity strengthening, the New Zealand government through the Ag Research on coconut rhinoceros beetle, CRB, and the SAFE project, which aimed at safeguarding Solomon Islands' endemic and globally threatened biodiversity and ecosystem services from key threats, particularly invasive alien species and unsustainable land use practices and rights development in collaboration with the Jiangsu Academy of Agricultural Sciences of China. Speaker said the ministry has also taken some initiatives to conduct food lab processing on dried fruit snacks for potential introduction on board Solomon Airlines. Laboratory drying techniques have commenced for the pineapple, to be followed by mangoes and papaya in the new year. Intention is to come up with the most cost-effective food preparation that will be introduced to interested private enterprises for them to commercially produce the fruit snacks for possible introduction aboard Solomon Airline flights. Speaker, sir, I wish to conclude by stating that I am fully aware of the past initiatives by the ministry that did not come to halt. The ministry often labeled with failure and mismanagement. Thus, the general public at large no longer has trust and confidence in our systems. But as a first-time member of parliament and a vibrant and qualified minister in the area of expertise, and with no obligation to anyone except to my people of East Makera constituency and this country, I am confident that my team will deliver the development work plans of the ministry. Speaker, sir, for the very first time in many years, the development budget of the ministry was increased to 50 million, and more funding are being secured from our development partners through bilateral partnership and funding support. The failures of the past regimes shall be our learning platforms, but they shall not be the determination of our future. I, as the Minister for the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, I am different and will not want to see any failures. I will ensure that my ministry officials perform their roles and tasks as expected by our citizens. God will continue to be our guide as we journey through the unknown waters ahead of us. And surely the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, under my able leadership, will contribute sufficiently to the well-being of our people and nation. Speaker, sir, I support the motion and I resume my seat.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Since we just had a statement from the member for East Makira, Central Makira, I'll give it first floor to the Honourable MP for Malaita Islands and the Minister for Lands and Housing. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honourable Speaker, thank you for giving the floor to the member of Malaita Island and also the Minister for Lands, Survey and Housing. Honourable Speaker, distinguished Member of Parliament, I rise to respond to the 2025 budget speech delivered by our esteemed Minister of Finance and Treasury. I would like to express my gratitude for the comprehensive overview of the government fiscal plans and the vision laid out for our nation's future. Mr. Speaker, before I touch on the 2025 budget speech, I would like to thank the Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee and all the members for the PAC report on the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024. The PAC report offers a comprehensive review of the proposed budget for 2025. It underscores vital concerns related to fiscal sustainability, transparency, accountability, and the capacity challenges faced by government ministry and statutory bodies. The reports call for immediate corrective action to ensure responsible management of public funds to foster sustainable development in the Solomon Islands. Thank you for that. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank the ministries, all the ministries, statutory bodies, and officials who attended the National Budget Inquiry session. On the same note, I want to commend my Permanent Secretary and the team for the ministry for the excellent presentation to the PAC committee. Mr. Speaker, on the 2025 budget speech, as the Minister of Lands, Housing and Survey, I am fully aware of the critical role that land and resources on land play in the development of our economy and the well-being of our people. The 2025 budget presents a unique opportunity for us to address the pressing challenges in these sectors and to align our efforts with the government overarching goals of economic transformation, infrastructure development, and human capital enhancement. Mr. Speaker, I commend the government's commitment to increase investment in key infrastructures. This is vital not only for economic diversification, but also for improving access to land and natural resources. Infrastructure development is the backbone of any thriving economy, and it is essential that we prioritize the construction of roads, bridges, and utilities that will facilitate better access to land for our citizens. Improved infrastructure will not only enhance connectivity, but will also attract investment in housing, commercial development, ultimately leading to job creation and economic growth.
Mr. Speaker, if I could interrupt. Mr. Speaker, it is now 4:30 p.m. I seek your consent to move a suspension of Standing Order 10 in accordance with Standing Order 81.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Leave is granted.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Standing Order 10 be suspended in accordance with Standing Order 81 to permit the continuation of business until adjourned by the Speaker in accordance with Standing Order 10.5.
Thank you, Honourable members. Unless any other member wishes to comment on this motion, I will put a question. Thank you. The question is that Standing Order 10 be suspended in accordance with Standing Order 81 to permit the continuation of business until adjourned by the Speaker in accordance with Standing Order 10.5. All those in favor say aye. All those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Standing Order 10 therefore stands suspended. We may continue the business until adjourned by the Speaker in accordance with Standing Order 10.5. Thank you, Honourable Minister. You may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the eloquent speech on 2025 budget touches on customary land and reform, and I would like to highlight the importance of land reform. The government's recognition of the need for structural reforms is commendable. The ministry activities in 2025 include plans to amend customary land laws by introducing a customary land perpetual estate, recognizing customary land holding groups and regulate their land management. The reforms will require majority consent for decision permitting only leases and ensure the land holding groups and tribes hold PE titles. This fala reformia bahemi guiding motor land holding groups and tribes for not selling their land. Land is a precious resource in the Solomon Islands, and my ministry will implement land reform policy that promote equitable access to land for all citizens. This includes addressing land tenure issues, streamlining land registration process, and ensuring that our land policies are inclusive and transparent. By doing so, we can empower our communities, particularly our youth, to engage in productive activities that contribute to the economy. Mr. Speaker, the focus on human capital development resonates deeply with our mandate. In the housing sector, the ministry plans to initiate 2 land subdivisions on Tasaisi and Mount Austin for housing purposes. Quality housing is a fundamental human right, and it is essential for the health and well-being of our citizens. The budgets emphasize on improving service delivery aligned with our goal of providing affordable and sustainable housing solutions. I urge stakeholders, ministry to support the initiatives that facilitate the construction of low-cost housing and improve access to essential services such as water and sanitation. Together we can create communities that are not only viable but also conducive to economic activities. Mr. Speaker, my ministry will support with Ministry of Finance focus on effective management of the current expenditure for physical stability, tax policy reforms for specification, simplification and compliance, and strengthen revenue collection through the Inland Revenue Division and Customs. My ministry will also pursue engaging with development partners and maintaining fiscal discipline amid economic pressures. Mr. Speaker, my ministry will play a supporting role in addressing the significant fiscal gap of 1.2 billion through various strategy initiatives aimed at enhancing revenue generation. One of the primary focuses of the ministry is to optimize non-tax revenue sources, particularly through the collection of fees associated with land administration. These include land registration fees, survey fees, and other charges that can significantly contribute to the government's overall revenue. In addition to improving fee collection, the ministry is set to review existing land fees with the objective of increasing them by 30% in 2025. This review will encompass various revenue sources, including estate, license fee, as well as land rent. By adjusting these fees, the ministry aims to ensure that the revenue generated from the land-related activities align with the current economic condition and contributes effectively to closing the fiscal gap. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry is also undertaking a comprehensive assessment of properties illegally built on government land. By identifying this illegal occupation, the Ministry can impose premiums, rents, and penalties on property owners who have developed land without proper authorization. This initiative not only helps recover lost revenue, but also reinforces the importance of adhering to land use regulation, thereby promoting responsible land management. Furthermore, the Ministry is embarking on the renewal program for expiring fixed estate and leases, starting with urban areas like Honiara and later other provincial centers. This program involves researching expiry leases and identifying opportunities to generate revenue through land premiums and rents. By proactively managing these leases, the Ministry can enhance its revenue base and contribute to the government's fiscal objective. Mr. Speaker, my Ministry is embarking on collecting uncollected land revenue from thousands of hectares exempt since 1985, including areas from Lunga to Foxwood. Many lands original from agriculture and are underutilized, resulting in lost revenue. The Ministry will assess and judge premiums on this land to recover revenue and promote responsible land management, aiding fiscal health. Mr. Speaker, in addressing the fiscal gap, all ministry and agents of the government need to manage its expenses in 2025. My ministry, through the leadership of Permanent Secretary, is determined to cut expenditure and to improve physical health and sustainability while dealing with the budget shortfall in 2025. This includes the careful management of its expenses, focusing on important areas like electricity, water, and office supplies. It is possible to reduce annual expense by 15 to 20% if well coordinated. Mr. Speaker, in order for this revenue to be collected and the survey and division of land to evaluate, my ministry needs at least 3 Land Cruiser Hilux available early next year. Thank Chairman of PAC for recommendation to the government to support this revenue initiative. For electricity, the ministry can save money by using energy efficient practice, such as switching to LED lights, improving heating and cooling system, and checking energy use regularly. Investing in smart technology like programmable thermostats can also help save more money and reduce overall cost. Saving water is just as important. The ministry plans to lower costs by installing low-flow fixes, quickly fixing leaks, and encouraging staff to save water. Regular check can help find areas of high usage, and using rainwater can lessen the need for city water, which will help save money. To cut down on office supplies costs, the ministry plans to promote digital documents and communication, encourage the use of electronic devices, and buy supplies in bulk. Choosing eco-friendly products can also help save money and support sustainability goals. Overall, these strategies will lead to significant saving and help the ministry succeed in the long run while addressing the budget challenges ahead. Mr. Speaker, I would like to emphasize the importance of collaboration. The successful implementation of the 2025 budget requires a collective effort from all government ministries, stakeholders, and the private sector. I call upon all of us to work together in a spirit of unity, collaboration, to ensure that our policies are effectively executed and that we achieve the desired outcomes for our people. In conclusion, I would like to thank the Honourable Minister for Finance and Treasury for his leadership and vision in presenting the 2025 budget. I am confident that with our collective efforts, we can address the challenges facing the government and contribute to the overall development of the Solomon Islands. Mr. Speaker, together let us forge our brighter future for our nation, ensuring that every citizen has access to land, housing, and the opportunities they deserve, as we embrace accelerating transformative investment, a pathway towards a resilient and sustainable economy. Mr. Speaker, with this remark, I support the bill and I assume my seat.
Thank you. Let me now give the floor to Honourable MP for Central Makira and Minister for Fisheries and Marine Resources.
Thank you, Sir, for giving me the floor and the opportunity. I rise also to contribute to this debate on the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024. Mr. Speaker, I join others who have spoken before me in congratulating the Minister of Finance and Treasury and his staff who had given their tireless efforts in preparing the 2025 Appropriation Bill 2024. I also wish to congratulate colleague Ministers of National Planning and Development and Coordination and Public Service and their hard-working staff and those of the Prime Minister's Office for their supporting role in preparing the 2025 budget. Say on this note, I also wish to thank the Chairman of the Public Account Committee and his committee for tabling the report now before us for deliberation. Mr. Speaker, Honourable Minister of Finance and Treasury, in his presentation of the budget, 2025 budget, articulated an overarching theme for the 2025 budget as accelerating transformative investment, a pathway towards a resilient and sustainable economy. The theme calls for fiscal responsibility, discipline and stability through effective collaboration across the whole of government to strengthen our resilience to achieve sustainable economic growth and to strengthen delivery of services to our people in rural areas. Colleague Minister also emphasized that the budget theme is built on the spirit of growing the economy and rebuilding government capacity to better adapt and withstand ongoing and future adverse impacts emanating from both domestic and external shocks. Mr. Speaker, I cannot agree more. Indeed, the theme is inclusive, forward-looking and people-centered, one that continues to promote investments, build infrastructure and create jobs. One that continues to address issues that resonate with the everyday struggle of our people. Mr. Speaker, in 2025 budget will indeed allow us to build resilience in our systems by increasing investment in key infrastructure to promote economic diversification and transformational economic growth and contributing strongly to improve the well-being of our people. Mr. Speaker, before I turn to my Ministry's 2025 budget estimates, let me provide a brief update on implementation progress on our flagship projects for 2024. The Binahaba Tuna Onshore Processing Plant Project. Mr. Speaker, Binahaba Onshore Processing Plant Project remains our highest priority in 2024. Key progress to date include indicated business case and due diligence report presented to Cabinet in June 2024, with estimated SIG capex of USD 202 million and private capex of USD 32.5 million. The Cabinet endorsed the business case and mandated the Ministry of National Planning and Development Coordination and the Ministry of Fisheries to do further consultations with all stakeholders to review the cost. Third, Mr. Speaker, the Binahaba Development Partners Roundtable convened in October this year. The Ministry of Planning is now exploring financial options with development partners. My ministry now concluding non-disclosure agreements with identified potential tuna plant investors and have furthering participation discussions with Kiribati and Tuvalu. Sir, the Bina project site investigations are ongoing. Land-based geotech harbour navigation. Together with Ministries of Planning and Finance, we have requested SIPA to review present cost estimate and explore wider SIPA participation in the port development. Strategic environmental and social assessment underway, building on IFC baseline studies. Ongoing tariff-free access to EU market for domestically processed tuna through derogation of rules of origin, confirmed 20 November. Going forward in 2025, the following technical investigation and planning will continue. Overwater geotech scheduled February 2025. Water and wastewater design delivery plan. Geophysical investigation, seabed and land side, fuel and gravel. Harbour access and water supply community engagement. Port master and planning, town planning. Power supply scoping, telecommunications scoping, field depot, demand study, engagement with fuel suppliers, and early site works and water catchment management. Mr. Speaker, despite the challenges to bring Bina into fruition, the Bina plant is focused to secure a profit of USD 400 million over 15 years in economic benefits from the estimated cash flows to government salaried workers, processing plant operator, and the fishing vessels operating company. Mr. Speaker, I call on all of us to work together to bring Bina into fruition, as this development will not only accelerate our economic growth, but also improves our national position towards graduation from the least developed countries status and address instability caused by lack of employment and livelihood opportunities on Malaita and the rest of our country. All in all, Mr. Speaker, the Bina Harbour project gives effect to the economic transformation policy the GNET government is pursuing. The seaweed farming. Mr. Speaker, seaweed farming is another transformational program that also remains an important priority for the Ministry of Fisheries this year. The seaweed farming continued to grow in 2024. By September 2024, we have a total of 1,665 farmers in the country, and the number continues to grow. The government, in its last supplementary budget, has allocated $7 million towards seaweed farming. Our aim as a ministry is to increase production to 10,000 tons by 2026, from the current production of 2,500 tons. To achieve this target, we have developed an implementation strategy that will guide our implementation. Of the SBT 7 million allocation, 4.85 million is allocated for 18,398 drops for all farmers. This allocation is based on the analysis of our current production rate, target production, and the annual production capacity of a rope. A total of SBT 1.5 million is allocated to infrastructure, including drying nets, plastics, bikes, nails, chainsaws, boats, OBMs, iron roofs, tanks, and plumbing materials. Its specific quantity of items will be distributed to each production site across the country. Recognizing the importance of transporting seaweed, an allocation of 200,000 is made for shipment hire to facilitate movement of seaweed to distribution and export centers. We also recognize the importance of supporting and equipping our local investors, those with highest production lines of 500 to 2,500 lines per farm. An allocation of SBT 800,000 is made to support them to boost their annual production. Mr. Speaker, the procurement is currently ongoing, and delivery of goods to farm sites will be carried out in the first quarter of 2025. The Gift Tilapia Development Project. Mr. Speaker, another priority project my ministry pursues is the Gift Tilapia Development Project at Aruligo, with the completion of office and lab buildings and compound fencing, fish ponds and off-grid solar installation, water storage and reticulation work, post-entry quarantine facility at Sinu. We aim to import gift tilapia seedlings in the first quarter of 2025. At the same time, Mr. Speaker, we aim to finish construction of 4 staff houses at Arilico by mid-2025. With the completion of the staff houses, the project will then complete it. The sea cucumber, breeding and grow out. Mr. Speaker, like seaweed, sea cucumber has the potential to provide socio-economic security to our people. We are able to mass produce a peanut fish in hatchery now and currently conducting field trials to test survival rates of hatchery reared juveniles into field sites in Marau and Gela. These trials are now in the last phase of program. Survival rates are more than 70%. Mr. Speaker, independently from my ministry research work, we have secured an investor who wants to invest in commercial mariculture of sea cucumbers. The investor has chosen to base in Choiseul Province and has started procurement of materials and equipment. This is a new investment, and I humbly call on our good people and government of Choiseul Province to render support to the investor to ensure commercial farming of sea cucumber is success for the greater return on one of our important fisheries resources. The Nora E-Port. So, while the earlier projects discussed concern creating investments for economic returns, this project concerns the digitalization of the country's monitoring, control and surveillance and catch documentation scheme process to ensure effective enforcement of our laws. This is a homegrown initiative, the first in the region and amongst a handful globally. For 2024, the following progress has been made. Completion on the development of the FFA regional electronic postage message integration with the e-port system in October 2024. This integration is now currently implemented by the e-port team. Maintenance phase to phase 1 of the e-port system is currently underway with a total of 15 modules to be developed. However, 10 modules have already completed in November 2024, the 5 remaining in development process. The e-port policy completed and launched on 15 November 2024. Completion of service level agreement SLA draft to integrate e-port system with other relevant stakeholders' electronic system is in review. Process with the Minister of Fisheries Executive. Completed in June 2024. Forms review completed and final stage to KZ. Mr. Speaker, this completes my updates on our priority projects. The Ministry of Fisheries 2025 budget estimates. Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to our 2025 budget estimates. Mr. Speaker, my Ministry 2025 recurrent budget estimate at $27.8 million. Of this, $13.2 million is for payroll charges and $14.6 million for other charges. The recurrent budget, Mr. Speaker, serves the 7 divisions of the Ministry of Fisheries. Mr. Speaker, under development budget, we are allocated $29.98 million to implement 11 key activities under our 3 development programs, namely Community Fisheries and Livelihood Programs, $19.3 million, Fish Export Infrastructure and Fisheries Centers Program, $6 million, Tuna Onshore Development and Food Processing Program, $4.5 billion. Mr. Speaker, these programs address the following 4 GNAT policy areas for fisheries and aquaculture. These are ensuring sustainable management of our fisheries and marine resources, developing our fisheries to ensure we derive maximum benefits from our fisheries, effective enforcement of our laws to ensure we have control over our resources, and building the capacity of the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources for effective delivery of our mandate and services to our people. Mr. Speaker, in 2025, our program projects will focus on the following. Number 1, for our Community Fisheries and Livelihood Program, 3 projects. The gift tilapia hatchery, $7 million to complete all 4 staff houses and importation of gift tilapia seedlings in early 2025. Sea cucumber hatchery, 500,000 to meet hatchery production and grow out expenses. Seaweed industry, 11 million to increase production by another 10,000 to 15,000 metric tons by 2026. Under our fish export in the Infrastructure and Fisheries Centers program, we will carry out maintenance work on Tataba, Lada and Yandina fishery centers, complete our head office fencing project, complete the Ministry of Fisheries residential building in Gizo, and conduct SPC facilitated FAD training. Mr. Speaker, under our third and final program, the Tuna Onshore Development and Food Processing Program, progress the Bina Harbour Tuna Processing Plant focusing on activities that will secure water and harbour access for the processing plant, as discussed earlier. Continue phase 2 of the Noro Eport project to secure Chitidol fish accountancy system for the Noro port, integrating the following with Eport system: our in-house systems, FIMS and SOLIC, domestic fishing company, NFD and Salt Tuna, then moving on with health, CA and custom systems. Mr. Speaker, additional to our development budget estimates, a total budgetary support of about $38.5 million from both appropriated and non-appropriated sources are also provided generously to my ministry to fiercely support the implementation of our development program in 2025. To this end, Mr. Speaker, I sincerely acknowledge and thank New Zealand, the World Bank Group, including IFC and Japan, for their kind assistance. Mr. Speaker, my ministry is a revenue collecting ministry. Of the $496.3 million expected to be collected by other ministries in 2025, my ministry aims to collect the $301.9 million for Treasury. Now I turn to the PAC recommendations, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me now respond to the 4 recommendations provided in the PAC report for my ministry. In this regard, I acknowledge the chairman of the PAC, the honourable member for Central Honiara and his committee for excellent report presented to the Honourable House earlier on. Recommendation 44. The committee recommends that the ministry explore avenues for increasing revenue beyond the tuna sector. The Ministry of Fisheries should develop a comprehensive plan to expand seaweed and sea cucumber production and explore processing options within the country. Mr. Speaker, I thank the PAC for this recommendation. This is the part my ministry is taking. As I described earlier, we are now in production targets for seaweed and commercial cultivation of sea cucumber, now started in earnest. We are targeting to have a private-owned seaweed processing plant in the country in 2 to 3 years' time. The target is now to increase our production by 10 metric tons by 2026 and 20 metric tons by 2027. Recommendation 45. The committee recommends that the ministry strongly advocate to the Ministry of Finance to remove and prevent future budget reservations on revenue-generating activities like seaweed production and other priority areas. Thank you, PAC, for the recommendation, very important and timely recommendation. Surely my ministry will work with the Ministry of Finance and Treasury to ensure our revenue-generating activities are fully supported to generate needed revenues. It has been done, Mr. Speaker. The committee recommends that the BINA project prioritizes fair compensation and resettlement of affected households, taking into account the loss of business and the land. Mr. Speaker, I thank PAC for this important recommendation. I wish to assure the PAC Chair and his committee members and this Honourable House that this will be our commitment. We have developed a relocation scheme and this will be guided by our principles of fair compensation, taking into account as flagged loss of business and land. I will personally see to it that our planned resettlement of households in Bina must be done in accordance to our culture and tradition. Recommendation 47. The committee recommends that the ministry advocate for the inclusion of non-appropriated funds within its national budget. This will enhance transparency, accountability, and the ministry's control over resources allocation, ensuring alignment with national priorities and strategies. This could involve revising financial agreements and strengthening the ministry capacity for project management and oversight. Mr. Speaker, again, let me thank the PSC for this recommendation. This is yet another important recommendation for my ministry to implement. We will work together with the Ministry of Finance and Treasury and our donors to address this concern, given that the Ministry of Finance alone is signatory to our project financing agreements. We are implementers for these agreements, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, before I take my seat, let me acknowledge our partners. Let me, Mr. Speaker, the work I have just outlined cannot be implemented and achieved by our staff alone without assistance of our bilateral partners. As I have alluded to earlier, we have development and technical partners who stand shoulder to shoulder with us, providing financial support, building our in-house capacity to deliver in this regard. I thank the people and the government of New Zealand, the people and the government of Japan, the people and the government of Australia, the people and the government of United Kingdom, the World Bank Group and IFC for their continued support this year. Equally too, Mr. Speaker, the many activities of our flagship projects are supported by competent technical advisors, both experts and locals. I wish to acknowledge them sincerely today for their undivided commitment in standing with us to progress our many projects. Again, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank also our good people of Bina and their leader, Honourable colleague West Koya, for the unwavering support and commitment throughout this year in progressing our Bina Harbour processing plant project. Our good people in Yarraligo who supports our tilapia hatchery work and communities who have interacted with us in the implementation of our 2024 work plan. Our industry partners who have contributed significantly to our revenue for the year. Thank you all for the great support. To all of you, I look forward to our continued working together in 2025 to achieve the goals we have set ourselves to achieve. Finally, sir, let me thank the Chinet government for allocating to my ministry a total of appropriation, recurrent and development budget estimates of $57.6 million to deliver our work program in 2025. In view of this budgetary allocation, I wish to assure this Honourable House that my ministry will continue to work to deliver on its obligations to the government and to meet the socio-economic needs of our people and the resource owners. With these remarks, I support the bill and resume my seat.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. We now give the floor to the Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification. Have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for recognizing me MP for East Global Constituency. And stand up and raise him in support of the budget. In doing so, me too like to acknowledge him, hard-working ministers and ministers who have tirelessly worked for this budget, and the chairman of the Accounts Committee who also scrutinizing this budget here. For me come debating here. So Speaker, as Minister of Finance and his officials, they worked hard and outlined Blohem, him Talem, you may expect him for a domestic economy to continue its recovery in 2025 with a projected growth rate of 3.9%. Mr. Speaker, I think good something here. The growth will be driven by expansion of business and service activities, particularly in infrastructure projects like the Tina Hydro and the ongoing developments in the mining sector. Mr. Speaker, the theme of the 2025 budget is accelerating transformative investment, a pathway towards a resilient and sustainable economy. This theme is underpinned by a commitment towards growing the economy and rebuilding the government capacity, enabling us to better adapt and withstand both domestic and external shocks. It is a theme that speaks to the heart of the work we are doing in the Ministry of Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification, where we are focused on creating conditions for long-term sustainable development in vital sectors. Mr. Speaker, let me now provide the overview of the Ministry's priorities and achievements and budget for the coming year. Institutional review. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Mines and Rural Electrification is entrusted with a range of responsibilities that are crucial to the nation's growth. We operate under multiple acts across divisions, each one essential to regulating and managing our resources responsibly. Energy Division, Mr. Speaker, operates under the Solomon Islands Electricity Act, SOE Act, and the Saltwater Act. Mines Division is guided by the Mines and Minerals Act and its amendment from 1990 to 2023. Water Resource Division functions under the Water Authority Act 1969. Petroleum Division is operated under the Petroleum Act, Exploration Act, and the Extended Continental South Act. Mr. Speaker, sir, our ministry's financial allocation for fiscal year 2025 includes a recruitment budget of 17,500,350 and a total budget of 57,760,000, with a projected revenue of 7,182,865 and expenditure of 45,782,990. We remain focused on ensuring that every single dollar spent contributes directly to our development goals and priorities. The achievement, Mr. Speaker, the achievement in year 2024. Over the past year, we have made significant progress in several key areas. Mr. Speaker, amendments to the Electoral Act. This reform will allow greater involvement of independent power purchase, IPP, and the public-private partnership, which are crucial for the growth of energy sector. Second, Mr. Speaker, Thin Hydro project. We have seen progress in the construction of the dam and related infrastructure, which will provide a sustainable and reliable power service to the nation. Energy Summit and legislative reforms. Our successful Energy Summit helped foster dialogue and set the foundation of ongoing energy sector reforms, ensuring that our energy policies are forward-looking and aligned with global best practices, and also manifest and committed during the Energy Summit in the commitment to increase access to reliable and affordable electricity, both urban and rural areas in the Solomon Islands. Spears Project, commissioning of 3 project sites with solar PV systems, one in Hanahanawa Community, Rockera Provincial Secondary School, and Vela Tourism Site, on West Puel Canal. Mr. Speaker, our priorities for fiscal year 2025. Looking forward, the Ministry will focus on the following priorities. Energy sector, and enacting the amended Electricity Act, which will provide a stronger regulatory framework for the sector. Started consultation on establishment of a new energy bill or an act. Developing policies for rural electrification and strengthening our energy legislation to ensure innovation and sustainable access to power. Establishing the Independent Power Producer IPP Center and Energy Regulator to enhance the governance and transparency on the energy sector. Increase investment in renewable energy generation to reduce cost of electricity. Endorsement of a new tariff regulation for 2025 to 2028 and 2030. Mine sector, Mr. Speaker, advancing mining regulation development and conducting national mineral mapping, ensuring that we can sustainably harness the country's mineral resources. With this, to ensure that the Minerals Resources Bill taken to Parliament in the first sitting of 2025. That's what Mibra fight out from Bill must come now. Implementing the Mineral Resources Bill once it's enacted, which will provide clearer guidelines and better regulations of mining activities in the countries. Mr. Speaker, by the show me life goal recommendation will be PAC so that in line with my statement. So, Chairman of PAC, the recommendations law committee, Talk about the regulatory framework sector. In this, the ministry is seriously considering the creation of Mineral Resources Commission. So this, how we're going to achieve this? Conduct a comprehensive legal and institutional review to identify gaps and conflicts within the current legislative framework, followed by drafting new laws to establish the MRC with a clear mandate and operational independence. Engage stakeholders, including landowners, mining companies, and local communities through consultations and public forums to build trust and secure broad support for this transition. Develop detailed organizational and operational plans for the MRC, recruited skills and personnel, secured sustainable funding through the government, international development partners, and the public sector partnership. Implement a phased transition plan with interim measures to ensure community and a robust monitoring and evaluation framework to assess the MRC's effectiveness. Enhancing compliance and enforcement capacity in the mining sector. Strengthening compliance and enforcement capacity is central to our reforms. To this end, the ministry will bolster staffing and expertise by conducting workforce analysis, recruiting skilled personnel, and implementing continuous professional development programs. Establish a state-of-the-art mineral testing laboratory, which with international accreditation to enhance the technical capabilities, and credibility. Upgrade monitoring systems of introducing digital compliance tools, enhancing on-the-ground inspection resources. Launch public awareness campaign to foster a culture of accountability and educate stakeholders about compliance standards. Mr. Speaker said, so Micambo geology and the geochemical laboratory development. Today I'm proud to highlight the strides we are making in enhancing the understanding of geochemistry and mineral resources management through the use of state-of-the-art and ethical equipment on the geological laboratory housed within the Geological Division Survey on the Ministry of Mines, Energy and Rural Electrification. The laboratory stands as a beacon of innovation, embodies a commitment to scientific excellence and sustainable resources management. The laboratory is now equipped with the state-of-the-art technologies such as microwave, plasma atomic emission, spectroscopy, ion chromatography, gas chromatography, carbon and sulfur analyzer, and a comprehensive array of spectrometry instruments. These sophisticated analytical equipment, along with the complete set of a sample preparation equipment, enable our laboratory to provide high-quality, precise analysis. This ensures efficiency from initial handling of samples to the final analysis, crucial for mineral exploration, environmental monitoring, and fostering academic research. Our initiative do not stop here. We are planning significant enhancement, including introduction of advanced X-ray, fluorescence of X-ray diffractions analysis, supported by our development budget, external funding. These additions will expand our capabilities to deliver more detailed insights into a mineral compositions essentials for our nation's development. Furthermore, to accommodate sophisticated equipment and expand our operational capacity, we are planning strategies of constructing a new laboratory complex. This facility will not only house the existing geochemical laboratory, but will also include various specialized laboratories such as the Fire X-ray laboratory, designed to meet the specific needs of the high-tech instruments. This complex will ensure that Somaliland remains at the cutting edge of geochemical research and resources management. In addition to the bolstering of a scientific infrastructure, the laboratory will impose fees-to-carrot analysis. This fee structure is designed to generate significant revenue contributing directly to our government physical resources. The sustainable financial models will support the operation of the laboratory as well as further scientific advancements and technology developments. Through these initiatives, we are investigating not just in technology but in our future, ensuring the Somalians continues to lead in sustainable development and plays a pivotal role in global scientific scientific community. Me Kamla Water Resources, Mr. Speaker, say, conducting legislative reviews to ensure that the water is governed and sustainably managed for our future generation is crucial. In this connection, a draft water resources bill is now developed and a provincial validation consultation is set for 2025 before finalizing the legislation. The bill enacted will ensure that effective management, protection, and sustainable use of both surface and the groundwater resources, to ensuring that the better coordination of activities, institutions, or agencies involved, whether directly or indirectly, the provision, directly or in the provision, development, or management of the water resources and the impacts on dependent communities and aquatic ecosystem, and a proper control of all forms of discharge, waste, and other pollutions that may enter or affect water resources and their associated environments. Mr. Speaker, say allow me to go a little bit of recommendation below PAC or that one. So in response to the recommendation below PAC, the Ministry's strategic thinking and actions include conducting a comprehensive assessment of water benchmarking its performance against regional best practices and making evidence-based on recommendations on the statutory statutes. Engaging stakeholders to ensure that reforms are exclusive, transparent, and aligned with the community and the sectoral needs. Drafting legislation for the Unified Water and Energy Commission to oversee tariffs, service standards, and investments with a focus on accountability and independence. Building regulatory capacity and modernizing infrastructure to improve sustainability and efficiency in water and energy services. Rolling out reforms in phases with clear timelines, public communication strategies, and a robust monitoring framework to track progress and impact. Commitment to progress the partnership, the Ministry fully committed to implementing these reforms in its new corporate plan 2024-2027, recognizing transformative potential for our nation. However, we also recognize the importance of collaboration. We will work closely with all stakeholders, government agencies, communities, development partners, and private sector players to ensure that these initiatives are inclusive, well-resourced, and effectively implemented. These efforts reflect a collective commitment to sustained development, involved governance, and a better service for all Somalians. Together, we build a future of our shared prosperity and resilience. Mr. Speaker, we come to the petroleum sector. The governance in the petroleum sector, more than so, biofuel policy development is equally important as other sectors in the ministry, thus introducing new policies for the management of our petroleum resources, ensuring that these are developed in a way that benefits the nation and our people. In this regard, the Ministry is providing such needed technical support to Ministry of Foreign Affairs and External Trade. The three extended continental self-claims, namely the Ongtung Java, the Plateau, the Charlotte Banks, and the North Fiji Basin, The continental shelf is seabed and subshore to those submarine areas adjacent to the coast of the islands of Somalis, but beyond the territorial limits. The extension of a sovereignty down to a depth of 200 meters below the surface to the sea, or beyond the exploitation of the natural resources of those areas over the ocean is crucial to us. The revenue, the Ministry will work collaboratively with Ministry of Finance, Excise and Customs, the IRD and the CBSI to ensure that revenue from gold and nickel exports are adequately collected to support the transformational intentions of this budget. These are some of the challenges that we must navigate. These include budget constraints, capacity gaps, potential delays in consultants' engagement and planning coordination. However, we remain committed to addressing these challenges and ensure that the plans are executed effectively. Alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. Our work in the Ministry directly contributes to the achievement of several SDG goals, particularly in the areas of economic growth, clean energy access, and climate action. We remain dedicated to managing our resources sustainably to ensure that the future generations can enjoy the benefits of the thriving economy and a healthy environment. Strategic plans and policies. In line with the government policies, the Ministry is in the process of drafting a 2024-2020 corporate plan, which will guide our work over the next 4 years. This plan will be operational early in 2025, ensuring that we have a clear roadmap for the future. Additionally, we will continue to provide regular updates to Parliament and other stakeholders through the briefing notes and the ministerial engagements. Strategic partners and stakeholders, Mr. Speaker said, the Ministry will continue to work with other traditional partners, donors to support in the key areas and gaps. Would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the strong partnership and collaborations from other various bilateral and multilateral agencies that has come forward over the past years in the key sectors within the Ministry. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, me like for extending my heartfelt greetings to all honourable members and our families working hard, public service, private sectors, NGO, chiefs, and everybody who we contribute one another to this very important budget. May we all have a peaceful, well, I'm going for Christmas now, so buy me enjoy the Christmas and Christmas Sublime Council. Mr. Speaker, I will resume my seat and support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister. Any other members who wish to take part in the debate? Otherwise, Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I move that debate on the question be now adjourned.
Honourable members, it is proposed that debate on the question be now adjourned. Those in favour say aye. Aye. Against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Debate on the question is therefore adjourned. Honourable members, in accordance with the earlier resolution of this House, pursuant to Standing Order 10, the House is now adjourned until 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, 10th December 2024.